What is going on, my friends? My name is Xaul, and welcome to a bit of a different video than I normally do. This is kind of a bonus video, and I'm doing this for a friend, AlicatGTZ, if you're watching this. But anybody out there who is interested in making thumbnails, quick and simple thumbnails, you can kind of use this as a guide. So, what we're going to be doing today, this is a video which is going to teach you how to make a simple thumbnail using a little program known as Krita, and a link will be in the description. I'm not going to go through how to download this program or anything like that, and nothing crazy like that. It's just going to be a simple, quick tutorial on how to make fast and easy thumbnails. And honestly, this is how I make my thumbnails. Normally, I don't really put too much time into them, but usually they come out looking pretty good, or at least in my opinion, I think they do. And I'm going to kind of like teach you guys how I do it. That way, I don't know, anybody who is interested in being able to make quick and easy thumbnails, you'll have a tutorial to use. But anyway. Again, this program is called Krita. First thing we'll want to do is we'll want to gather the images that we want to use for the thumbnail. Usually what I will do is that I will get a screenshot from anywhere in any one of my videos. In this case, this was from episode 2 of Raft. It doesn't matter where the screenshot's from. As you can see, the screenshot itself is not that great, but it doesn't matter because unless you're capturing something very specific from the game, any screenshot will do, because what we're going to do, we're actually going to blur the screenshot. And in addition to that, we have a couple of images which we're going to be using for the thumbnail. In this case, we have a shark PNG, and we also have the logo for Raft. So let's say we're making a thumbnail for Raft. And this isn't going to be the official full thumbnail, this is just going to be a mock-up, but I just want to kind of show you. So first thing I do is I will blur the thumbnail. So go to Filter, Blur, and then Gaussian Blur. And then usually I do about 25% or so, but honestly, it's up to you. I just kind of guesstimate here, 25.56, good enough. Okay, and that is our backdrop. Now, basically the purpose of this is just to kind of add color, and that's all it really does. It's just there to add color. It doesn't really do anything else. And like I said, this is why the image itself is not really that important. So next thing we'll want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this on here. So I'm just going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it right on here, and this is going to paste, as you notice, as a separate layer, because there are multiple layers on here. Layer 1 is, of course, the backdrop, and then layer 2 is the pasted Raft logo, which I just put here. So basically what we do from here, we just kind of play around with it. Let's say I want it in the corner up here, and then I can like use these little handles to resize it, hold shift to scale it, or I could just let go of shift and, you know, it'll just do whatever the heck it wants to. But I'm going to go ahead and scale it to about that size, rotate it ever so slightly. You can do that from the corners, and then just kind of place it in a location that I like. And there we go. And then from then on, let's go ahead and grab our shark friend here. You right here, we're going to go ahead and grab you, copy this, paste this as well. As you can see, it's kind of a larger image, but we can do that. And for this particular case, let's go ahead and mirror this horizontally. And then we're going to kind of also angle this, kind of similar to the previous one. Actually, let's make that a little bit bigger. And this is actually very similar to other ones that I've done in the past. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, we're just kind of doing this just for tutorial sake. But there we go. Simple as that. So now we have a PNG, and we also have the logo. Which really, that's all we really need. However, of course, we can play around with this, kind of make it look a little better. And thankfully, this program has plenty of tools that allows us to do so. The one I like to lean on here is the brush tool, which is in the top left over here. And basically, the one I choose is the soft brush, or the airbrush soft, which is the fourth one on here. As you can see, there's plenty of options, and really, you can just play around and do whatever the heck you want to. That's the cool thing about anything, like any creative project like this. But usually what I'll do, I'll use the soft brush, and then I'll choose a color, which in this case, I'm going to use like a darker blue. And let's go ahead and shift click to make this smaller. And I'm going to use this actually on the edges here. Actually, that's a bit too dark. Let's make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, that should work. So I'm just going to kind of like use the brush on the edges here to kind of add like a little border here. And the border is just for show. I mean, it's not for anything specific other than it's here. Uh-oh. I actually meant to do this on layer 1. Whoops, my mistake. Go ahead and fix that right quick. There we go, and then we can go ahead and add this on layer 1. And this brush tool is actually really useful because in addition to like adding borders and whatnot, we can also use this to add like low effects. which I like to do usually in my thumbnails just to kind of make things pop a little more. Because oftentimes, like when there's the logo, you won't really be able to see it very well. So I'll just grab like a lighter blue, make that a little bit bigger, and then just add this very slight glow here to the background. Like very, very slight. And you can even like add in like a few additional colors here, like maybe some lighter and darker, just to kind of like add some variety. And also we're going to use like a kind of light yellow to highlight the shark here, just to kind of like give him a bit of screen time there. But there you go. That's literally all I do. And now we have a simple, easy, basic thumbnail, which actually looks pretty good, or at least in my opinion it does. So for Ali, who requested this video, that's basically all I do in order to make my thumbnails. And for anybody else who's watching this, hopefully this helped you. I mean, if it helped you at least a little bit, I mean, that's a win, right? Okay, so I guess before we end this video, I'll go ahead and show a few others which I've done as examples. This one here, as you can tell, it's very similar to what I did before. This is for a Celeste video I did a long time ago. And unfortunately, it doesn't show the images I use, but of course we have the logo, and then we have Madeline here in the left here. And she doesn't have a highlight, but we do have like a little highlight around the border. And I think it came out looking pretty good. And then as you can see, all I did was just use a simple background. Another example here was a house flipper one I did. And this one was also very simple. I used the airbrush just to kind of like add a bit of lighting effect, so it kind of makes like the flashlight is highlighting the logo. I thought this one came out pretty good because this episode kind of took place in the dark a little bit, so I guess I thought it was kind of clever. But this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying you can get as creative as you want to with this, because I mean seriously, I mean it's all about creativity and it's all about you. And like I said, every one of my thumbnails which I made, I threw together in like 5 minutes or less. It doesn't take very long to do this at all. And I mean, honestly, if this is what you can do in 5 minutes, think about what happens if you like put an extra amount of effort into it. You can create some monster thumbnails with this thing. A few others I show off. This one is not exactly my favorite, but I wanted to show this one for a specific reason. This is, of course, for Layers of Fear 2, which all this is just the background in a picture, or I'm sorry, the logo in a picture. But as you can see, like these little like red dot effects kind of is meant to look like blood surrounding the edge, and I actually put that in there too. And that's another effect you can do using this thing. Like if you make this thing really tiny, you can kind of like dot the edges and whatnot, and kind of add like this little effect on here. I think it kind of looks pretty cool, and hopefully some people will actually be able to utilize this because I think it's actually pretty cool. And this is another one which I wanted to go ahead and show off. This one is a bit different. As you can see, I did not blur the background in this case, but this time I was trying to show something specific. In this particular episode of Celeste, I had reached a pretty crazy roadblock, but basically, I mean, still basically the same thing. Like I highlighted the logo and I highlighted the arrow, which looks kind of meh, but either way, just to kind of give you an idea of the things I like to do with this. And of course, here's another one, Minecraft Dungeons. Same thing, blurred background, logo. Couple of enemies on here, Archillager and also one of his minions, kind of with the glow effect. Like I said, very simple and easy. And of course the final one I want to show you is this one from Unravel, which this one I might have gotten a little bit overboard with the glow effect, but either way, of course, I mean, this is kind of showcasing the fact that there are mosquitoes in this particular level, and all I really did was just find a PNG of a mosquito or a couple mosquitoes and just kind of threw them together on here. Sometimes it's hard to find the images you want to use because oftentimes there are only a few. Sometimes you might have to like go into Photoshop and actually like get your own images, which I understand that can be a bit of a pain, but that's not something that I usually do, just simply because I know I don't have a lot of time when it comes to making these. But either way, that's my quick and easy tutorial on how to make simple thumbnails. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, do me a favor, smash that like button please, and if you want to see more from me and more content in general, don't forget to subscribe, because I've got plenty of content on the way for you guys. Thank you guys for enjoying this little different video that I did. Hopefully you liked it. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and end it here, so thank you again. Hopefully y'all are having a fantastic day, and y'all take care.